Vision IAS has just recently starting this mains advanced program. So where we are going to focus more on the depth of understanding and the analytical areas of the concepts. You will focus more on the preparation aspect. You will give less importance to the answer writing. This is the best time to prepare actually thoroughly for mains. Okay, so those who are going to appear for the next year, those who are freshly preparing, both of them have to focus completely on mains now.
Hello dear aspirants, I am Vishal Salsekar and I welcome you all for this special conversational video regarding Mains Advanced Course 2025. Generally we consider that the time period between October and January is comparatively a lean period because there is no prelims or mains is nearby, and that's why we become comparatively casual during this time period. So to discuss the strategy how to utilize this particular time period in a better manner and to get solution regarding this, I am joined by Rajesh Govindraj sir, who is the faculty of Vision IAS. Welcome sir.
Thank you, Vishal.
So sir, before we discuss about these kind of issues that I have already highlighted, first let's come to the subject that you are taking here, which is basically the geography and the environment. So what do you think, like how UPSC is focusing on this particular subjects from last few years?
So in last few years, you can, based on the trend of let's say last 5 to 10 years, so geography and environment has been a very important part of prelims as well as mains.
Right.
So we know the importance of geography and environment in prelims. So when it comes to mains, that is in GS1 as well as GS3. So cumulatively, it accounts for nearly 150 marks.
Okay.
Approximately around 100 marks in GS1.
Right. So,
and approximately around 50 marks in GS3, because in GS3 there are few topics related to agriculture.
right.
So that is also part of geography's discussion, and we have environment related topics and disaster management related topics.
Right.
So combined all of these together, so we can account for nearly 150 marks out of 750 in 3 GS papers. And the overall subject nature is also such that you can integrate this in various other aspects. For example, society. There are few topics of society which requires the understanding of geography, whether it is urbanization or the migration or even the demography, all of this, and few topics of economics. Okay, so their contribution, overall contribution towards the general studies is comparatively high. So, and talking about the trends, the weightage was there, nearly 150 marks. And the overall subject nature is that it is bit static in nature. Geography, when you talk about the geography, it is static. And the environment is more current oriented. Environment, disaster management, it's more current oriented. And in the recent past, the trend has been that geography is also trying to move towards the current aspects of geographical phenomena.
Right.
Yeah, this has been the trend in the last few years.
So, talking about this particular year, so as we have all seen the paper, that how UPSC has also focused, as you are also highlighting, that current affairs related things. So, like what was the trend of this year? Like how many questions were asked in this particular year's examination from geography and environmental point of view? And also like what was the nature and the difficulty level of these questions?
So in GS1, geography, we had a total of 7 questions, accounting for nearly 85 marks. And in GS3, environment and disaster management accounted for nearly 4 questions, so around 40 marks. And the nature of the questions are such that this time, the geography particularly, they are more related to the current aspects. So for example, the question on cyclones, how the cyclones are changing in the recent times. Okay, so because of climate change, global warming, and also the question on twisters.
Right.
Okay, so whether it is twisters or even the cloud burst questions.
Right.
Okay, so they're all related to the extreme events which are happening in the recent times.
Right.
Fine. So the focus has been that more about the current trends and in the context of climate change and global warming.
Right.
So they're trying to integrate geography with environment here. Okay, so it's not whether it is GS1 or GS3. Everywhere you can see the integration.
Right.
And talking about the environment, the questions in environment, there were 2 questions in environment, and so there were 2 questions in disaster management. So all of them were moving towards the current trends.
Right.
Okay, so focusing on those aspects which impacts the larger section. Okay, so for example, the question on environment was related to the factory waste, how it is impacting the surrounding environment, right? So in that context. And the nature of the questions are such that they are more application oriented and analytical in nature. So there are few bouncers in between, we can say. So for example, they did not ask tornado, rather they asked twister. Okay, so one who has studied thoroughly about this concept, then they will be able to understand, okay, twisters and tornadoes both are same. And also the tropical cyclone question was not about the conditions required for the formation of tropical cyclone, which is usually expected. So it's more about how it is changing in the present times in the context of warming of oceans. Okay, so and other than that, there was also increased emphasis on the social geography. Okay, so I had actually even suggested the students to go through the social geography, because in prelims there were two questions in social geography. So there was a question in the population, how the countries are declining in population. There was a question, and it is based on that only the demographic winter question was asked here, right? And also regarding the regional development aspect, there is a question which is a mix of both society and as well as geography. Okay, so that is also related to how the geography has influenced the overall development in that context. Fine. So there is current trend. So second, there is a interlinking of the different concepts related to geography with society, with economics,
Right.
and more application oriented. You have to apply your mind and make an answer then and there. It's not like you will have ready-made answers which you will just write it as it is. So this is this year's trend.
Right. So basically, when we start preparing for these particular subject, there are conventional books, maybe NCERT or maybe any other book which comes in our mind. But the nature of questions that UPSC is right now focusing, mainly these books are unable to cater many of these kind of aspects, including the current affairs. So what should be the strategy that student can adopt in order to prepare these kind of things holistically, as well as those application kind of things should also not be like in a sense missed by the students while preparing. So what can be the approach?
See, even though the nature of the questions are moving towards more the current trends,
Right.
but one has to have a thorough background understanding of geographical concepts.
Right.
Okay, so without understanding the idea of tropical cyclone, you cannot describe the nature of this tropical cyclone and the changing nature. So keep your fundamentals strong. For that, one has to refer to these NCERT and the standard textbooks.
Right.
But that is not sufficient. You have to do value addition to this, considering the current trends as well as the current issues. Okay, so from newspaper, from any of the monthly magazine, or any of these current affairs the issues. So try to integrate this along with the traditional concepts of geography and cover the subject in a holistical manner. This is the idea, and that requires a thorough understanding of the current events.
Right. So regarding current affairs, sir, do you think any specific source that can be referred by the student specifically for geography and environment?
So specifically for geography and environment, I would say for Visionaries monthly magazine, we have a section, complete section on environment and geography. One can refer to that. Every month the update we will give in that. And other than that, Down to Earth magazine is one such magazine where we get all the issues related to environment and geography. And recently from Visionaries, we also have another initiative of Planet Vision. Okay, so where we have the environmental issues of the month are compiled together. Okay, so in addition to this, any of the social media like YouTube or Twitter, where there are certain good information available regarding the current issues. Okay, so there one can follow that. Okay, so but one has to make a thorough notes of this and integrate with the traditional aspects of geography.
Exactly. So, sir, for me, if I may ask, like for upcoming years, like what may be the trend of geography and environment from because climate change, because the kind of things and scenarios are going on, they are going to change and they might be influencing the UPSC papers as we have already seen.
Yes.
So what kind of questions and what kind of things, like whether it is going to increase the weightage of these subjects in future?
Yes. So in my opinion, definitely it has to increase. So because every aspect of the life, every aspect of the society is influenced by these events. So that is climate change, global warming, how it is impacting the geography or the environment. That is one area, interlinking with the climate change, global warming. And there comes the entire conceptual part of climatology.
Okay.
So if you have observed in the last 2-3 years, the weightage of climatology has drastically increased.
Right.
In prelims, we have total of 6 to 7 questions directly from climatology. So I suggest the aspirants to thoroughly understand the concepts of climatology, one thing. Second, talking about the interlinking with other subjects, there is an increased weightage of social geography.
Okay.
Social geography as well as economic geography. The interlinking with geography and economics. So these are the few areas I would suggest personally. In the next few years, there will be increased focus.
So future year question can be based upon these particular
Yes,
topics.
yes. The population aspects, because the India is going through such a stage where we are in the transition between the third and fourth stage.
Right.
Okay, so where we are moving from a increasing population to a stable population.
Right.
So here we can expect some questions related to population.
Right, sir. So, sir, now as we were talking regarding these, like how students should do certain kind of value addition. So, there is a course like Mains Advanced course, which is about to start now in October. So, to utilize this particular time period between October to January, this may be one of the step ahead for the students who are comparatively not able to get any clear idea that how they start preparation for integrated aspects from prelims and mains perspective. So, what is this particular program all about? If you may talk about certain features of this program.
Yeah. So before the program, let me tell you this time how to use it more productively. So because usually after the mains, what happens? The overall the study circle of UPSC goes into a lean mode.
Right.
Okay. So because prelims is there in the next year's May, and there's a huge gap, and those who gave mains, so they will just relax and settle.
Exactly.
And the overall the pace of the preparation goes down during this time. And this is the best time to prepare actually thoroughly for mains.
Right.
Okay, so those who are going to appear for the next year, those who are freshly preparing, both of them have to focus completely on mains now. I'll tell you why. Because people think that prelims preparation is the main area, and once they clear prelims, they will focus on the mains. That is totally a wrong approach. In UPSC, there is nothing called prelims preparation, mains preparation. Everything is integrated. Okay, if you ask me, for me, it is a geography subject. You need to understand geography as a subject. Then the UPSC will ask prelims questions and mains questions accordingly. So, if you focus completely on prelims, you will miss those aspects, those analytical aspects, those deeper concepts, which you will not study, thinking that this kind of in-depth understanding is not required.
Right.
But if you see the questions of the recent times, many of the questions can be easily tackled if you have prepared thoroughly for mains. Okay, so that is also one of the reason why many of the times those candidates who appeared for mains this year, and by chance if they don't clear, and next year their prelims becomes a cakewalk, because their mains preparation has been solid.
Right.
Okay, so I strongly suggest the aspirants to prepare thoroughly for mains during this time, at least till January, before they shift the focus to prelims. So that is the best way of utilization. Okay, you will get the depth required for the subject. Right. And also the overall analytical capacity.
Right.
So with that in mind, Vision has just recently starting this mains advance program. So where we are going to focus more on the depth of understanding and the analytical areas of the concepts. Here we have a basic idea that the students have some fundamental basic coverage.
Right.
And we will try to build upon that. We will try to give more current correlation and interlinking of different concepts. Okay, because when you study the subject freshly, you will try to see things independently. Okay, so once you cover a broad coverage, then you start to interlink. So here we try to do that. Okay, so interlinking of different concepts, giving more depth to the conceptual understanding, as well as interlinking with the current affairs. So with that idea, we have just started this. The overall the idea is to cover this till January, so that it gives a solid backup, solid preparation for mains before they can completely shift towards prelims. And here, of course, we have the regular test which happens on weekly basis. There is also mentorship support to track the performance of each and every student. Yeah, so this is the basic idea.
I think this can be a holistic approach for the student who are comparatively clueless at this juncture, that they are thinking that whether should continue with the prelims only preparation.
Yes.
Because ultimately, if you are right now doing only prelims preparation, then only the mains preparation time will be coming after the prelims examination.
Yes.
And at that time period, I think students might not be able to get that much time.
Yes, yes. So usually it happens that after prelims, they're in a hurry,
yes,
and they will not prepare thoroughly. They will not give the depth of preparation.
Right. And also sometimes we have seen from the toppers copies also, like they are in general prepared for that particular topic. The structure is pre-prepared, already available with them, just they need to fill some current affairs and
Yes.
some specific question specific approach to
Yes,
that.
yes, yes. Because after the prelims, the main work is there in answer writing. So where you write comprehensive tests and regularly follow it up, check on that and improvise. And your preparation aspect is lagging. You will focus more on the preparation aspect. You will give less importance to the answer writing. After prelims, the main focus should be on answer writing, test and answer writing. Yes. For that, this is the best time for the preparation.
Exactly. And I think for this particular program may be a good source.
Yes, yes.
Okay, sir. So, sir, thank you very much, sir, for discussing about the trend of geography and environment, and also discussing about that what kind of issues student might be facing at this juncture, and how should students should be utilizing this particular time properly. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Vishal.
So with this, we came to an end to this particular conversational video. For more such conversational videos, stay tuned with Vision IAS. Thank you.